guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be working with a little bit of bees, just kind of getting it automated, and then the major thing is getting the indexer, so that way we can access all of our items from anywhere we want to be. How cool is that? Alright guys, so I'm currently in the process of making a portable analyzer. This thing is actually really cool in what it does, and we're going to work a little bit with bees today, simply because we did unlock extra utilities, so it's going to make it a little bit easier to get some of these things automated. Now, one of the things I wanted to do was, this thing I guess started to work. I guess it grew a flower. There was some things that I was wondering. They said flower breeding was a thing in this, because I don't remember planting this flower. And I don't remember planting those flowers. So I guess it ended up working, so that way this thing had a flower that it wanted. So what I want to see, yes, all of this starts connecting. Perfect. So what I can actually do is actually test these things. So let me go ahead and throw this cone in here. I did change my power setup. Let me kind of go over that real quick as well, because the power setup is kind of ridiculous what we got going on here. So I ended up using the gasoline to fill up these generators. Now, unfortunately, this can't keep up. So this machine is not keeping up with the power. But what I do have is I have my high voltage, because high voltage runs all across here. Unfortunately, this doesn't run on high voltage. The only thing it'll run to, it'll run from low voltage to medium voltage. So what I have here is a medium voltage. Now, luckily, the high voltage transformers will take high voltage current and knock it down to not only high voltage, but you can actually take the high voltage and run this into low voltage as well. So it works for both, or you can have it going into this, low voltage going in. So it works that way. But what I have is I have these guys directly connected. I spent a while trying to figure this out, and then I realized in the book it says that you need to connect the wires directly to the ports instead of using a connector or a relay or a transformer. What am I talking about? A connector. So I have all that set here, and then I was like, why is this not working properly? I'm really just not generating enough power to run all of these things, but I do have 262 or so buckets built up of diesel, which we could use later on. It's just that, whatever extra power I'm getting from here, which, since I put that pipe thing in here, it always knows that gasoline goes here, and I'm just trying to run those generators off the gasoline. It's not really working that well, but we'll fix our power solution soon. I did also create some ender generators. It looks like they're already out. I thought I had more ender pearls than I do, but I don't. I don't have that many. Also, I installed this mod called Lag Goggles. It's actually a really cool mod, and if I go ahead and I'll just show my last profile. But what you do is it scans for blocks that are laggy, and what I found is it's not really the mods that are causing the issue. It was vanilla hoppers. So I removed vanilla hoppers from this setup right here, and it really reduced the amount of lag that is being created. I know that these guys do create some lag. As you can see, they're pretty high up there on the scale. Everything else seems to be looking pretty good. These blocks seem to be creating a little bit. That one specifically, I don't know what the deal is with that one, but that one is a Sky Resources, something that's added in through Sky Resources, so I don't really know. It's really not creating that much of an issue. It's just one of those blocks that are red. Most of the issue, though, is coming from the water wheels. So eventually we'll get rid of the water wheels and it won't be an issue. As you can see, the major chunks up there are the few chunks that we are in, and Britannia, of course, causing some lag down here, all of that stuff, of which is not that big of a deal. And then, of course, our vanilla hoppers, which really is the main issue. These vanilla hoppers, man, they're not very good, as you can see. They create a lot of lag, which I didn't know. So, also profiled, you can profile lag, you can profile a bunch of other things in here as well. But I noticed the chickens. This is not creating world lag, but it's creating FPS lag for me. You can actually scan for certain things that cause FPS lag. And that's what I did earlier. These chickens are apparently one of the problems. There's a couple of other blocks that are some problems, but really it's not that big of a deal. It's something about when I go up there that it was causing it, but I think removing the hoppers really helped that problem. As you can see, it kind of glitches the UI. So all you gotta do is hit hide and bam, we're good to go. So let's get to talking about this portable bee analyzer. So we have these couple bees right here that we were working with, and we have a Rocky Princess and a Rocky Drone. And I've just been rotating these guys in and out, just try to build up honey, because this guy does not function without honey. And we're gonna need a lot of honey. So honestly, getting this thing set up and automated is gonna be the best thing we could possibly do. So now that I have this open, I can throw the honey up here. And beeswax is something, it's like a byproduct. So this thing is used later on for like wax capsules, which work as buckets. But it can't hold hot liquids, is what it says. And you can also use it for, you know, all kinds of stuff. Wax casts are something that we're probably going to need to use it for. And then it looks like upgrades for Gindustry, which, by the way, Gindustry is an awesome mod that I have used in the past. That will really help us later on down the road. I don't think we have it unlocked yet. Yeah, so we can actually check this bee and learn about its traits and the things that it does. So the lifespan on this guy is pretty short, which in some cases is a good thing. In some cases a bad thing. So we just need to keep that in mind. So the production is pretty slow. So if we had a short lifespan and high production, then yeah, that would be great. But since it's the slowest production, it's probably not such a great thing. Unfortunately, the fertility is 1-to-1, so we will never get a duplicate of any of our drones. And yeah, each one of these tabs tell you a little bit more. So you have your climate's normal. We want that to be normal. And we have each one of these tabs tell you a little bit more about each one of the bees. So this bee right here, we can get one of the drones just to test it out. It actually required a specific flower. So I wanted to find what particular flower it actually liked. I don't know where to even see that. Class. I know it just says flowers right here. But is there a specific flower? Nocturnal, no. I don't know where to even see that at. Can hold shift. It just likes flowers. Maybe I just didn't have the specific flower that it wanted. I don't know. Now it works. So yeah, I don't know. But that was one of the things. Now the problem is I just scanned this, so now it will not stack with everything else. So really I'm just gonna delete this. I know that all of these in here that I've been building up, I know that they do work. Now this says not bright enough. And I do believe that has, yeah, that's because the sky is obstructed, so this guy won't work unless I put it on a different platform somewhere. So yeah, we are going to have to move these things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build a platform. And what I'm also going to do is tear down my mob farm for right now. We currently don't need it. We have enough stuff stored up. We have so much stuff stored. I'm just going to take it down for right now, because whenever we start working on new things, we're actually going to build a new mob farm entirely, and it won't be nowhere near as big as this guy. This was just for the start. So yeah, I'm just going to tear everything down, and then I'm going to build a platform off here, and we're going to work on bees off to that side. So awesome. All right. So after some long, hard work, as you can see, bam, this guy actually looks really nice. As you can see, there it is. I did remove my mob farm. We don't need it for right now. We will find other alternatives for that later, but for right now, I think we're set up pretty good. So here's what I did. I ended up extending each platform out to each one of these circles. It's a 7, you know, I go by this. I think it's a 9. No, not 9. 16. I can't remember. But you have 7 here, and that's usually what I go off of. And then it's 2, then singles, and then 2, and then you just make a circle off of that. Pretty simple there. Yeah, but I wanted to make this is just here just because of the chunk. I can't really do anything about that. It's just there. I really don't know what else to do. But over here is where we're going to work with some more bees. And if we have to make this bigger, we definitely will. But right now we only have 2, and we really need to get this automated in some fashion. So that's where I made some transfer nodes. I made some filters. I have some bees here. I'm going to put my, actually, I'm going to move things. I really don't want Rockies in there. I want to get a different type of bee. So right now I have forest drones right here. I have a forest drone and forest queens. I want meadows. So this is pristine stock, and then I have these meadows as well. So what we can do is we can actually take our Beelizer, and let's see what this princess is. Okay, so it's a double, so it will produce multiple things, and then this is triple. So this guy will triple produce drones. So we should get 2 drones every time this guy produces, or 3 drones every time this guy is produced, which would give us double the output. This one, you know, unfortunately only get 1, but maybe whenever we crossbreed these things, it'll be a lot better. But this thing just requires flowers. I think it's just a normal setup with this guy, so they should both work. So yeah, all we have to do is set these guys up in the filter. It says right now it can't work, but it will. So we'll put this guy here with those drones. And right here, we're just going to get these things breeding a bunch of drones, because that's exactly what we need. We need drones so that way we can eventually start crossbreeding them and try to get commons. For right now, we don't really have much when it comes to all of these bees. The main thing I was wanting, I do have another meadow princess, but unfortunately it's in noble stock, so it'll eventually die. I don't want that being bred into my bees. So these bees, the steadfast princess, you actually get those in your loot bags. These guys create cocoa beans, so if that's something you want, you have those available like right at the beginning. But there's really nothing else that I'm too worried about right now. The rest of these bees are going to be used for crossbreeding. That's the main thing. We do have marble drones. I know those are used for breeding with steadfast drones later on down the road to get you some other different bees. And then ender princesses. We only got 1. Do we actually get ender? We got Oblivion drones. I think those are the Oblivion drones come from. Where do they come from? Let's see. Oh, it's just keep saying loot chest. I guess I can't really find out. I think the Oblivion drones are a part of the ender. I'm not very good with bees, so don't. Oh no, here's the Oblivion Princess. What is this? What does it actually give us? Forgotten combs, and those give us populace right from the start. So we could, I guess, start breeding some of those guys, but I don't know what type of environment they actually require. What is this beeswax used for? No use on this beeswax. But pulsating populace makes these pulsating mesh, and that's how you can get ender pearls right off the bat. So yeah, Oblivion drones, I'm pretty sure those guys need to be in the nether, or in the end. Yeah, they need to be in the end. But that's just something that we have to worry about. So for right now, we can kind of automate these things a little bit. We need to kind of, I think these filters, if I remember correctly, they let you actually set like a priority, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to place a chest on top of this. Or actually not on top of this. Let's actually remove this. We're going to do a chest down below. So we're going to pull the bees out from the top. And right now it's set to just pull whatever. And then we're going to need to filter it back into itself. Just like that. So what it's going to do is going to pull out, and it's going to try and deposit this stuff in here. So what I want to do is, can I set a priority? No, there is no priority system here. This is stacked items, or how you can stack items. Don't know if I exactly want that. So I might just take that off. And we're going to see how this actually works. It usually goes for the nearest inventory to it. So this is technically 1, 2. So if I was to place this chest right above, it's not going to work. But I can have it filter, if I want to not take in certain items. Nope, I did not want to place you there. So all I have to do is make some filters. I'm surprised I didn't make any filters. I had to make a filter for this guy earlier. That was basically all I did. Let me grab some string, and we're going to make some filters. Good part about having these string plants right there. And filters are so easy to make. So we'll make some filters. And that should be good for now. And that lets us filter which side we want things going into. So like this chest, I only want combs to go in there. And then I want drones to go in here. So whenever we get cone, we'll know that it will go in there. What it might do is as soon as this ends up breaking, which I want these guys in here to kind of help out the production. What will end up happening is I will get the output of the drones and everything will probably go in here right off the bat. Depending on how this filter works. I don't know if this filter set there. I don't know if it blocks stuff from going in here right away. It might. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It may do that. But yeah, we kind of just have to wait and see. And then whenever we do get the cones that we want, I can set a filter. There's really no way to prioritize this stuff. But there was something else I want to work on. We're not going to stick with bees today. That was just, I just wanted to get this thing like semi-automated. That way we can just let them go. That way whenever we do need to get bees going, like to complete some major quests, we will already have a foundation for our bees. And that's going to work that way. So I did notice there is a genetic filter, which is a part of forestry, and I'm not exactly sure how this thing is supposed to work. I don't know. I've not actually dealt with this stuff. It looks like, yeah, it does plants and it also does bees. So you have two different crafting recipes. I'm assuming they both work for each other. But yeah, that's what I figured out. But I want to get an indexer today. It's like our only real way of getting a like an inventory sorting system, or just an inventory system alone that has a central access point, which I'm going to put it underneath this platform, that allows us to be able to access specific items or like certain items. So if we need redstone or something like that, I can just be like, bam, I can just pull right up some redstone, and I don't have to like fly down and go get some out of a chest or anything like that. I can just do it from right here. So I'm going to gather a few things and get some things going. I'm going to get some chests and stuff like that. And then we're going to try and set up this indexer. Of course, I am going to make the indexer and things like that with you guys, but we do need to get a few things. Oh, before I go, I did do this thing. So I ended up having like 5 or so things I got from my trees, and I also got like 6 saplings. So I was able to replant the saplings. You don't get much of the I can't remember what it's called. Whatever that gel's called. Ectoplasm, that's what it's called. I didn't get much, but I was able to use it. So let me go ahead and head over to my spectral world, or spectral dimension, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, because I think we're going to be using this world here soon. I did have an issue though when I came to this world earlier. It did shut down my server. It did shut down everything and just crashed. But luckily it was a crash to the server, so it just like shut down the internal server. Even though I'm running this single player, it did work. But I ended up placing them right here, or I clicked them on here, and it just made it taller. It made this room a lot taller. So I guess this room goes really high. And because I think we're on 0, 0 down here. Like the I don't know what the Y level is. Take a look. Where's our Y level? Okay, yeah, we're at 1. Y level 1. So yeah, the more we go, the higher this room will get. And I guess you could just have like multiple layers of things here. This, like, I don't know, it'd be really nice to have like things automated in this world. I know there's other ways of automating things. That's like, there's what's the name of that mod? Let's see, miniature. I can't remember the name of the mod that miniaturizes everything. But it's definitely in here. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Yeah, that mod lets you like actually export and import items out of the actual world, which you can't do with the spectral key, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I know. I don't think you can do that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and gather those items and we're going to get the indexer going. All right, so right now I'm just kind of doing some of the basic things that you need to go over with extra utilities, and that is getting myself grid power. So yeah, I just created a manual mill just like you would normally do, and then the resonator, and then you of course put your polished in here and you get yourself stone burnt. I need to get this done because I'm pretty sure to be able to use the wireless tablet that allows you to access your indexer, you need grid power. I don't know how much grid power you need, but I think you at least need some. I would at least require, if I was the mod developer, I would require you to have some grid power to be able to use that item. But I need it anyways because I do want to use some screens. Like I want to actually use some things in this mod that are really interesting that I normally don't use. And I think I have like plenty of space to do that. I actually plan on putting some like pictures and stuff like that up on these screens, and I'll show you how that works probably in this episode. But there's some pretty cool things you can actually do. And we're going to actually get into that. So let me go ahead and get this done. I'm going to get some water mills. Those are the best early game to kind of get you a lot of grid power. And I think this is going to work great. So in first setting the water mill up, you want a like 9x9 area or 3x3 area cleared out. And you want to actually place your water sources in each corner, or two of the corners, not each corner, two of the corners, and place this guy right in the middle. This is going to be the most efficient way of getting power, because how this works and how all these blocks work, including the lava mill, it works in this fashion. Just the lava mill is kind of wonky. It says you can get 4 GP out of it, but I've never been able to do so. What you can do is you have the water, and then this source block right here is the highest flow rate that this water source block can produce, and it's producing it on both sides. And then the same on this side. This is the highest that you can produce. It's basically running up against this watermill block at the highest rate. And each side is going to net you a total of 16. So you have your 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, and 4 here, and you end up getting 16. So that's a pretty neat way of doing this. And then of course I'm making more of them. This only gives me 16. I want 32. This the mod though, they did add an efficiency. So if you produce more than 64, you're gonna start seeing a 33% loss in efficiency. So if you were to try and produce 128 GP, it would require a lot more water mills than it would if you were to think about 60. So say you're 64, your 64 GP from your original water wheels only required, so what would that be? That'd be what, 4 water wheels? 32? Yeah, 4 water wheels, because 2 of them give you 32 and 64. So whenever you're trying to bump up from 64 to 128, you're going to need more than 4 more water wheels or water mills. Just keep that in mind. That does change the game there, and it keeps going higher and higher. So the more you need, the more you have, the more you're going to need later on to bump that up. So it's best if you try other methods of getting GP. And then of course, I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, you can use a bunch of fire mills. Those are a little bit better. You can bump up and get 40 GP from that. You can get, what is that? This is windmills. You can get 512 GP from windmills if you wanted to make that many. It's kind of a lot, and they kind of vary on how they actually work. So that's something to also keep in mind. But yeah, I have enough. I was able to make 2, and that'll get me 32 GP. And now I can actually just add a little section to the side here. I don't need that much, to be honest, to get this to work very well. So all I need to do is place it here, and then I just need another source block of water. So I'll just run down here and grab me another source block of water. And then bam, we will have 32 GP just like that. It's pretty simple to do. And now, as you can see, I have 32, and it's only using a little bit now. And then I don't need the manual mill anymore. That's just to get started. So let's go ahead and get started with building the screens and building some of the stuff we're going to need. All right, so I think I have everything set up and ready to go for making the indexer itself. I just really need to grab my stone burnt from over here. There we go. And then let me actually throw the rest of that. That way we can get the rest of that going, and I'll have some extra for later on. Okay, so the indexer is not a hard machine to actually make. You just need to get, like I said, some GP so you can get some stone burnt, and you need some screens and some screen. These screens have like multiple uses for crafting, and you can actually do some pretty cool things with them. You can actually link images from Imager to the screen and actually have them in your game, which is pretty cool. So if I want a kitten just hanging somewhere, I could do that. If I wanted a giant poster board up here, it's in the shape of a square, I could do that if I wanted to. If I like wanted to close this in and just make it a screen, I could do that. It's pretty cool how this mod actually works and how that screen allows you to do some things like that. But we're just worried about this, so let's go ahead and get the actual screen made and get this made. So we have an indexer now. So this is a little bit different. We need these eyes of redstone. We need 2 of them actually. There we go. And we're also going to need some more screens. I did notice, I guess these eyes of redstone show you how much grid power you actually have. It's kind of weird. I don't remember exactly what these do. Yeah, it doesn't really say. But it looks like we're going to need regular stone. Do I not have any on me? I don't think I do. I have some up here. Okay, good. Perfect. It looks like I'm just missing the screen, and then there we go. And then we should be able to make the actual remote. And there we go. Okay, so I actually got all of my storage already set up, and that was the main thing. It took a little time to actually do, but I mean, I had tons of wood. So I ended up making tons of wood and coal. I ended up making all these medium storage crates because I didn't want to go through the process of making the large crates that would require empowered, and it would just really give you 1 extra slot. I don't think those are even worth it, to be honest. I mean, I just don't know. I don't think they're the 3 extra. I don't think the 3 slots when these give you 2 slots that are huge. I just don't think having a 3rd one is worth going through the process of empowering everything. But I did place where I want the indexer to go, and I hope that it does work in one direction or works in 2 directions, so I can have the indexer here. And it looks like this requires 8 grid power, which is perfect. And then here's what we need to do. All we need to do is have a transfer node on this side, and I think a transfer node on this side, and then we just place the pipes. And the pipes are just so cheap, and you can just place them just like this, and as long as it's connected to the inventory, we should have access to it in the indexer. And I'm going to test that out by placing, let's see, this transfer node here. And then I think we shift click, or we just click, and then we can access this thing from anywhere, right? Right now we have something searched in here, and if we if we don't search anything, bam, look at that. That 1 transfer node that's in here is in our inventory, and we can actually access this thing. And we can now access it wirelessly. We have so much storage. And then we can actually search in here with our search bar, and everything will search and stuff like that. Pretty awesome. And then if we want to place items in here, it does take a little bit of time, but it does have an input buffer. And even when we leave it, it's still going, right? So if I exit out, it was at 50 earlier. I go back in. As you can see, it is still dwindling down and slowly being processed and going into this, the actual chest down here. So here is our oak planks. And now how this works, it will go into the nearest inventory. So if you wanted to actually filter things out, you can use these transfer pipe filters per what you want things to go into. And then I think the filters themselves, let me check here. Match metadata, match MBT whitelist. I wish there was a way, I don't know if you can filter by mods, but I don't think there is a way. But it doesn't matter to me. As long as I can access the items that I have in here, that's awesome. Now, one thing I was wondering, can I craft, so like, sticks? Can I craft from in here? Okay, so it gives me the items that I need to craft, which is awesome. So does it work the same way if I say request a large amount? Yes. Okay, so maybe not do that, because that would be a bad thing. So yeah, it's going to continue. It's going to fill this whole thing back up with all the items you need. If there was a way to cancel that, that'd be much better, but I don't think there is. Is there? No. So it's going to keep going through all of this. But that's how you do it. If you want an item out, you actually have to click it, and it takes a minute. Then it comes down here. If you want to put it back in, it goes back in there. So yeah, but I mean, still, this is a great thing. All right, so I got a lot of my inventories kind of sorted here. I ended up putting some speed upgrades in this thing, and really the only thing that speed upgrades do is help items go into your inventory, go into your system faster. It doesn't help you pull items out. It still takes you some time to pull them out, but I'm going to show you a trick. So all you got to do is request one item, because if you want to request a stack of items, it's going to take a little while to get it. So if you're in desperate need of that item, what you can do is come down here and then actually hit T on your keyboard. And if you haven't changed that keybind, as long as you're inside your inventory and you hover over an item and you hit T, it's going to kind of give you this particle effect that's going to show you what chest has that item in it. So as we can see, this chest has redstone in it. They are kind of jumbled up, but as you can see, the redstone's there. There was some redstone in here, and then there's some redstone here and redstone here. So yeah, all of that, it kind of helps you if you need to get a lot of an item quicker. So yeah, because if I was to request a stack, it would take some definite time to do that, because it would go through each one of these processes over and over again like this, and would take this long. So that's something you kind of don't want to do. But like I said, if you want to do that, as you can see, it goes a lot faster now with sorting the items. So I did want to take a look over here right before we end the episode, and I wanted to see what this is doing. Okay, so it's doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. And let's actually request our filters. Filters. There we go. There's our 2 filters. So what we can do is we can request them. Perfect. And now we can actually set this up for some basic automation. So let's just get this last section here. So for some reason, I didn't get any combs from these guys, because these guys, I don't produce combs. So I don't have to really worry about that. What I want this to do then is to just cycle these through. If they don't give me comb, this one gives me cones. Does this not give me cones? Let me take a look here. They do. It's just I didn't get any. I did get one here, so I can actually filter this. So what I want to do is create a filter for just the honeycombs. So there we go. And we're going to whitelist this. And both of these are set. So now I can put a filter there and a filter here. And now only honeycombs can go inside these chests. Everything else will get sorted and go right back into here. Perfect. So yeah, I can just let these run now, and it's not going to cause any issues. And they're just going to basically keep duplicating until we have too many meadows drones in here, or too many of the forest drones, which then I can start moving them to different hives, and we can start crossbreeding some stuff. I'm also going to make a garden cloche. Somebody, if you didn't mention that, I totally forgot that we have garden cloches in here. And so I'm going to make a garden cloche that is going to be producing seed oil here. But it doesn't require much power, but I can place a thing in there and it'll just produce seeds, which is really good. I think it will produce seeds. And somebody was saying peanuts from Ham's Harvest Craft is a really good source of this. Let me see. Squeezer. It does produce seed oil. Wow, I didn't know that. So yeah, what does this come from? A market. We actually have a market. I'm pretty sure I have a market. Or I did, and I may have gotten rid of it. Yeah, I got rid of it. But we do have it, or we can make one. It's not like it's really hard to make a market. Yeah, it's not hard at all. Like, we can literally request all of these items. I think we have wool. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure how this actually pulls it out. Okay, so it does pull out whatever items we actually need. And then from there, I wonder if we can do this. Yes, we can. Okay, that just... Okay, so something glitched out there. There it goes. It's not wanting me to do that. Huh. So yeah, it looks like the... Maybe I have to do it by hand. It doesn't seem to want to let me craft the item. It doesn't want me to do it. So yeah, I guess we'll have to still use a regular crafting table, but that's okay. That is absolutely fine. So yeah, there we go. And then I can request emeralds. What? Am I losing my mind? I'm totally spelling it wrong. Leave it to me to spell emerald wrong. So yeah, there's our emerald. We can go and get one of those out. Actually, go ahead and grab this. So, yeah, we can go through here and find the peanut one. I think the peanut one is kind of brown looking. And yeah, we can get any of these seeds. No need for planting any particular thing. We have access to all of them. So yeah, I'll have to go through and definitely get that. But yeah, we've had a pretty good episode. I don't know about you guys, but this is a major thing. Like, this is awesome. Having your inventory, having access to your inventory, and I don't even know how far away this actually goes. I mean, I'm pretty far away from my central inventory, and I can still access it even over here. I think it's with your grid. I don't even think there is a range. As long as you have grid power, this is running off of grid power. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think we covered quite a bit today. If you guys did enjoy this episode, please don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and as always, thank you for watching.
Let's go!